We have to start with a smile today because the Sparks got it done this Saturday afternoon, knocking off the Dallas Wing as they win 87-81. Big games by the new Big Three that we're going to talk about it here. Michael Matthew with the one and only DJ Treacy Trees. I hope y'all ready because we have some heat here for you today with LA Sparks Weekly. Thank you guys so much, Sparks fans and WNBA fans, for joining us here with LA Sparks Weekly. Once again, Michael Matthew, DJ Treacy Trees. The Sparks take care of business. Yep. A game that we knew that they needed. They got one more before this Olympic break. They match up Tuesday with the camp game, which is going to be fun, against the Seattle Storm. But they took care of business today. What did you like about this win for Los Angeles today, DJ?
I think that this win lets us know that after the break, we're going to come around that corner. We talked to Azurá Stevens in the press conference in the last game, said that it don't look like they could make a playoff run, but they absolutely can.
Yeah, they aren't far off.
They're not far off. The bottom is crowded. We only 3 games behind for a playoff spot. So I love this momentum that we're coming with. Finding Dallas was also shorthanded, so everybody needed to take advantage of the game today, and we got the best of Dallas.
They played really well. You know, started off the teams going back and forth. At one point in the third quarter, I said, are we going to see a Sparks blowout?
Yeah.
They were up like 11 or 12 points, but then they did what they always do.
That slump.
Allowed the Wing to come back in and, you know, get in that game. But then fourth quarter, we've been talking about it. Who are going to close the game? I talked to Rakia when I interviewed her last game. Are you one of those closers? And today, she was one of them because this team has a new Big Three, and it is Rakia Jackson, Azurá Stevens, and, of course, the All-Star and Olympic De'Arica Hamby. What did you see from those three today?
Those, of course, have been my players of the game for the last 3 or 4 games, to be quite honest. Rakia Jackson, there was a point in the game where starting in that first quarter, De'Arica Hamby had scored like the first 6 to 7 points, right?
Oh, yeah, she was 4 for 4
the next person to come up was Rakia Jackson, coming off of a rebound and scoring. So you really get excited when you see these 3 play back and forth to each other, playing very unselfish basketball. We won the assist game because of how much we were sharing that basketball. I'm excited to see them play because they all have that length. They all rebound really well, and they all can hit threes. So we've got 3 players, those forwards, just really playing and attacking aggressively and getting us ahead early.
And they're all 3 of them are interchangeable. Like you can get any one of them in the post. You can get any one of them outside shooting threes. You can get any one of them sprinting the floor to get a layup. Like, I think Azurá returning, we knew what she was doing last year.
Oh, for sure.
Once they figured out that she is a 4 for sure, and she balled out, and she's bringing that offensive touch. Yes, of course, the team missed Cameron. She's one of the best defenders already in the league. But Cameron was trying to figure things out offensively to where Azurá says, I know what I can do.
Yeah.
She was knocking down threes. She was scoring at the basket. De'Arica was looking like MVP De'Arica like she was earlier in the year. And with those 3 being a consistent thing that you could say, hey, we can dominate the front court. We just have to figure out the back court. A lot of teams can't say that in the W. So this was a really good performance, especially after how they played last game where it looks like coach is going to say a curse word during the press conference. But, they played some real good basketball. But I think going forward that with the starting lineup that they can count on 4 of the 5 players because Ari McDonald is the point guard. She gets people in their spots. She can push the tempo and score when need be. It's just that 4th spot. You know me, I always got to find something.
Tell him to tweak. And you know what? Our new Big Three is doing really well, hitting those open shots.
Yes.
And that's something that coach was really frustrated about last game. But this game, I mean, they were leaving Azurá open, and she made them pay every single time. Same thing with Rakia Jackson. You know, if you pass her the ball, she's got an open look. She's going to do her very best to knock down those open shots, as well as in the mid-range. De'Arica Hamby, I love her step through. I don't know what it is about that, but
yeah,
she
that
go up
ball
for that
fake.
little ball fake, and
You
then she
don't
do
know
that
if it's a
step through.
travel or what, but it's a good
It's
bucket.
heat.
But I just want to shout them out. I got their numbers right here. 27, 5, and 4 for De'Erica, 16, 4, and 8 for Azare, 23, 2, and 7 for Rakia Jackson, 12 points, 4 assists put in by Ari McDonald.
Whew.
It was just a good
That's
performance.
a good performance. That's
Just me. I'm a nitpicker because you want to see a team, and sometimes one game is great, but you want them to see them win more. And it's going to take a play and stepped up play by their wings, the backcourt. And you want to see more from Kia Nurse. She only had 3 points. She's a vet. She's a shooter out there. She's going to have to do more if they want to knock off some of these better teams consistently. Ray, who came in and gave some solid minutes. But, maybe she can get more minutes. She had 2 points, 3 assists.
I would have liked to see more Ray. I don't know why Ray didn't play more against the Dallas Wings in exchange for Kia Nurse. Only because of Ray's size.
Yeah,
because
athleticism,
the
too.
Dallas Wings are a sizable team. You got Kalani Brown, you got Natasha Howard, and they play physical ball. Even with Odyssey Sims. Having a Ray Burrell on the Odyssey Sims really takes that shooting ability away. So I was just shocked that we didn't see a bunch more of Ray. Still glad we got the job done, of course.
Yeah. And I would like to see that change, just to try something different. Maybe when we come back from break, we can get that, or maybe Kia might get things going, but maybe that might help her.
The Olympics might give her, too.
Yeah.
A little bit more of a push because you going and competing against the top in the world. So maybe it'll recalibrate her, get her playing with a different set of team, and help her find her offensive push. Because in the beginning of the season, Kia Nurse was doing that thing. She was knocking them down, making people pay for it, but now it's like she's almost forgot that rhythm, and then she got a couple silly fouls. She got into it with Enrique, which I think was good because then you get her frustrated defensively, but it just wasn't converting today.
And that's just us nitpicking Sparks fans. The Sparks took care of business. They played good basketball. Only that small stretch in the third quarter where they lost the lead, where you were like, here we go again. But other than that, they played really good basketball. We can't complain. Shout out to the Big Three doing their part. Now they're going to move on to the Seattle Storm on Tuesday. Is there, other than maybe you could say Zaya going 0 for 5 and Kia Nurse struggle, were there any negatives that you saw within this game? Because they had less than 15 turnovers. They made 6 of 14 of their threes, which they struggled shooting the 3-ball last game. It looked like a near perfect game for me.
In my opinion as well, and especially, Michael, with them being on the road. We saw those 2 long road trips where we didn't find no success. That's where we really hit our slump. So the Sparks have to be celebrating in the locker room to close a game like this that was a must-win on the road. There's not much that Sparks fans can ask for more from our players today, especially going into that game against Seattle, where you got to play a Big Three who's also very fast.
And we talked about it off air. Like, I like that group of the bigs. We love Lee. We know that she can bring a lot. Hopefully she's able to go on Tuesday. But if we have to just rotate those 3, of course they got to stay out of foul trouble because that can always hurt. But that 3 of De'Erica, Azare, and Rakia, I think it gives the Sparks what they need because it gives them spacing. It gives them outside shooting. Like you were saying, like they were letting Azare shoot, and she was just knocking them down. And the same thing sometimes with De'Erica. They let her shoot. So we want to make people come out, and maybe that can help the wing players more because the spacing is going to be so wide open for them because you have to respect Rakia, who can knock down the 3. You have to respect Azare and De'Erica, who can knock down 3s. So maybe that can open it up. But I like that rotation that we saw tonight. The pace that they played with was really great. It was never a point of the game where I'm like, man, they are playing slow or discombobulated offensively. So it was a great game, a great win on a Saturday afternoon where, their minds can be in so many other places. So it's a big-time victory. 87-81 for the Los Angeles Sparks. They pick up a much-needed win. But, we got you covered. It's coming up. We got Coach and a couple of players here with LA Sparks Weekly.
Recording in progress.
Start with opening statements from Kurt. We'll have questions for players first only, and then we'll have Kurt after that.
Just really proud of these guys. Big road win for us today. Dallas made a run at us, and we found some late game execution and togetherness that we really needed, and just really proud of them sticking together. It was a big team win. We got a lot of different contributions from everybody. I know Rakia Jackson had a very, very big game. They've been playing 3 small guards as of late. We tried to find some opportunities for her, not only outside, but inside. And our team really executed some of that and a couple big plays down the stretch when we needed some momentum going to the finish line. So Rakia, really nice career high. De'Erica, unbelievable 13 baskets again, really got us going early in the first quarter, 27 big points. Azare Stevens' line is off the charts. I thought really played well around the rim. Told her after the game how important she was, not only on the boards, but just putting a body on all those big centers for Dallas over and over again. Ari with big plays down the stretch. And then last, you got to call out our 2 guards that maybe didn't get the points tonight, but once again, really held Arike in check tonight, going 2 for 15, 2 for 9. In our 3 games now that we've played Dallas, we've held Arike to 28% shooting and less than 8% from the 3-point line. So just really hats off to our guards, just trying to stay in plays and make it as difficult as possible with Arike. So really proud. We haven't won a lot of road games this year, so really proud of them. I thought we did a lot of things that you can see that we're growing and getting better and better.
Questions for players first. We'll start with Infanity.
Hey, what's up, guys? Michael Matthew here with LA Sparks Weekly. This is for, either you, Rakia or De'Erica. Just looking at the 3 of you guys with Azare, it seems like you guys were able to find something with today's game, playing off each other, knowing when, hey, I'm going to be outside, you're going to be inside, when this player should flash and stuff like that. What were you guys able to see on the floor to make you 3 so successful today?
Just taking advantage of the mismatches. We're all 3 versatile enough. You can kind of plug us anywhere. We knew that going into the game, we wanted to highlight some of the mismatches, and I would say 2 out of the 3 matchups were beneficial for us. So, like you said, we were very intentional about going at those.
And this question is for De'Erica, DJ Infanity TV here. De'Erica, your post game is electric. Can you talk about what it's like to play a very physical game against a post-centric team like Dallas today?
I just thank you to Azare for getting back, getting healthy, because I've had to guard the toughest matchup since Cam has gone down, and obviously I try to play hard and it's beating me up a little bit. So it was nice to be able, not to take possessions off, but to be able to not beat myself up so much trying to guard Kalani and Tierra. So shout out to her for that.
Thank you.
Hey, De'Erica, court from the 9450. Your defense is pretty top tier.
You think so?
While your scoring ability,
I don't think Coach thinks so.
your impact on defense is equally, as great as your offense. Could you just share some insight,
Yeah.
how, you prepare for it?
Yeah, I find myself a lot of times being a little bit conservative just because I'm not trying to pick up fouls. I want to be able to play the whole game if I need to. So I think games where I feel like that's not going to be an issue, I'm able to get up and be more aggressive. I'm pretty sure Coach likes it better when I can do that.
Jude, followed by Jordan.
Hey guys, this is a question for both of you. I know Azare Stevens was able to have perfect night from 3-pointer with 4 for 4. I'm curious, how was her ability from 3-point today able to help you guys on the offensive side?
I feel like she just stretches the floor. You can't just sag off of her. I feel like she's versatile. She's quick off the dribble. So you have to play her honest, whether she puts it on the floor or want to shoot the 3, she can do either or. So you just got to pick and choose your poison with her. And I feel like that just opens up the floor so much for us.
Jordan, then Jonathan.
Hey ladies, Jordan from Television Sports. Congrats on the win. My question is for Rakia Jackson. I wanted to ask about your partner in crime, De'Erica, just about her leadership on and off the court.
Yeah, Dee's leadership has been big for me. She keeps me sane on and off the court. She texts me and just always lets me know, that she's there for me and what I can do better. She stays on me when I need it as well. She holds me accountable, but on the court, she leads by example and she's a vocal leader. She just does everything for me. Honestly, I couldn't ask for a better teammate. I don't know where I would be if Dee was not here. So, just having her has really helped my transition to the league much smoother than it would have been if she wasn't here.
Thank you.
For players, Jonathan.
Hey, Rakia Jackson, this question is for you. Your shooting was effective tonight. Can you share some insight into your pregame preparation that allowed you to perform so well from Big Baby Sports?
Yeah, I feel like the coaches, they just instilled confidence in me before the game. Going in again, I knew that the 3 spot was probably going to be a little shorter, something that we try to take advantage of. So I felt like them instilling that confidence in me makes me want to go out there and play hard for them. And Kurt staying on me, telling me what I need to do helps me as well. So I feel like just having that confidence from my teammates and my coaches helped me.
Thank you. We'll do questions for Kurt, starting with Infanity.
Hey, Kurt, Michael Matthew here. So with those three, Azare, Rakia, and De'Erica, everybody's going to look at the offense with them each, scoring either 20 or a little below. But defensively, what were you able to do, or what are you able to do with them with their versatility that they can guard inside and out?
Yeah, they have length, right? Azare really brings us an added dimension of length, and especially since we've lost Cameron Brink, needing that length and having missed it here over a stretch of games without Cam. You heard De'Erica. We're asking a lot of her offensively. She's playing a lot of minutes. You had the 2 most minutes people in the league today, De'Erica and Enrique. Yep. And so De'Erica, gets a little bit of a break, maybe can play against someone a little bit less physical, maybe someone that's not in the actions as much. And so they play off of each other, but we can always flip that up. And so, really pleased. Rakia's length can be a factor, gives us someone at the 3 position that we can really scheme with, right? Mm-hmm. So we can switch her on things. She's a good enough athlete and a good enough defender. We can leave her alone and have her fight through things. So, she's really learning the pro schemes and has come a long way. From where she is today compared to training camp, and, her eyes, just look wide open in training camp, not knowing exactly what we were always talking about. Just really pleased with her growth in her rookie season.
Hey, Coach, it's DJ. 24 team assists tonight. How imperative was sharing the ball in this win against the Dallas Wings?
Yeah, we had a goal of 12 turnovers or less tonight. We had 13, so we got one more, but we only had 3 in the second half. And it's a team that we hadn't turned the ball over much the first 2 games. So we knew how critical that was because, again, Enrique leads the league in steals, Natasha being back, Odyssey being back. They have much better defending around the perimeter and people that can really have some disruption. So proud of our turnovers and our concentration on that, especially when we were trying to look intently offensively at some things that we don't look at each and every night. So, that's a big story in the game, keeping it to 3 turnovers in the second half.
Thank you.
Coach, you feel like Rakia Jackson can replicate this game?
Absolutely. There's a lot of noise out there about this rookie class, and rightfully so, but Rakia is the only rookie in the league that's scoring over 10 points a game at a 45% clip or higher. So she's really, really efficient. We don't run everything through her. She is also very unselfish. And so, just really pleased with her efficiency in her rookie year, the efficiency that she's showing, and she's just scratching it. She is just scratching it. So she can certainly do this night in, night out.
Speaking of which, do you feel like she needs to get more aggressive? I mean, tonight she was really on it.
Yeah, I think, I give her credit. She takes what the defense gives her. Again, we're all learning each other. Everybody continues to know where to put her in position to be successful tonight. Late in the game, we had intent, and she really executed some actions well, and we took advantage of that. But we've got to continue to get her the ball and find her shot attempts. But, there's nights where people scheme differently against her to try to take those away. The great thing is she's really unselfish.
What adjustments that you make during the game or even before the game to counter the dynamic guards of the wings?
Yeah, we had a game plan coming in and we stuck to it even when they made their runs. We felt like it was working. There was an action that they were executing in the first half. We talked about it at halftime, thought we did a much better job. Bottom line, without going into all the coaching details of our defensive game plan tonight, ultimately we wanted to stay in plays and try to make them and make as many difficult shots as possible, even 2-footers. Even when you get buried by Tierra, buried by Kalani, could you continue to try to make them as difficult as possible and try to make them as inefficient around the rim even, let alone the outside with their dynamic guard play. And I thought for the most part, we did a really nice job of staying in place.
And how did you feel the team did tonight against Enrique? She scores basketball very well. How were you able to counter her?
Yeah, it's hard to shut down Enrique. She's going to get her points. What we hope is to find some inefficiency to try to have her take a lot of attempts to get her points. She took 30 in one of the games we played this year. She took 28 in the other, but she was inefficient in both games. And so that was our hope again. Again, with Howard back and Sims back, she may not take as many shots in the game. But again, once again tonight, 2 for 15. We can't ask for much more than that. We've had a really good 3-game series against Enrique and proud, and our guards should take pride in that. She is an elite scorer and player.
Last question, Ray.
Hey, Coach, Ray Morley from Sporting Tribune. I was going to say actually that Enrique has only scored 54 points in 73 shots. So there must be a conscious effort to shut her down while having everybody else score, right?
Yeah, again, we did a really good job on Enrique, who's a really good player. And, it's a big story in the game. Our efficiency, we're a lot of the game over 50%. We ended at 50%. We shot 43% from the arc. We were efficient tonight. We got them in the low 40s when it seemed like we couldn't get a stop for a while. And with the way they can score the ball in the paint, we'll take that any day. Big road win for us. Wins are hard to come by in this build, and just really proud of the way we played tonight.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
So we are back. We just heard from Coach Kurt Miller, Rakia Jackson, who had her career high 23 points, and De'Erica Hamby. Wanted to correct something from earlier. Lee is actually gone. She's out there in China preparing for the Olympics, so she won't be here Tuesday. But Coach and, the players talked about some key things. At one point earlier in the year, that struggle on the road, we were like, what's wrong with De'Erica? What's going on? She kind of answered that for us. She's saying, like, hey, with Azare back, I can kind of not have to guard the more physical bigs, where she can kind of do that and we can kind of take turns. So it allows her to give offensively what she was able to do tonight, making 13 baskets. And just how key is that versatility with those 3 defenders, that each of them can kind of play inside out when it comes to not only offense, which everybody loves, but defensively as well when it comes to Rakia, Azare, and De'Erica?
I think for us, it's the key to us winning because they always talk about this next woman up mentality, but what if they ain't no next woman up? You know what I mean? So we've been forced. De'Erica didn't have another counterpart that could guard and have as much experience after Cam. And especially even with Cam. Cam is a rookie. She's guiding. To have Azare, a champion, a vet, to know how to keep that composure. And again, you watching Azare play, her game to me is so beautiful because it's effortless. She get those rebounds. It don't even look like she really trying. She get her hands up. She's effective.
Smooth.
She's smooth. So it's like knowing and having another player that you can rely on. And De'Erica even said that in the press conference, like, big shouts out to Azare for getting healthy to help me out. You know what I mean? So it's our key to winning because we can share the ball more. We can trust the team members more if you now have this other player who's just as big and as physical as the best player on the other team.
And then you have Rakia's length, who gives people problems where now she don't really have to focus on guarding too many bigs. She can play more of a natural 3 and use her length to help and cause deflections and stuff like that. That's why I would like to see a rotation where Ray is in there with that starting group because you have the speed Ari, who's guarding the point guards, making it tough. Now you add another lengthy athlete who can attack the ball and get deflections and things like that. So that's why I'm curious to see if we can ever get to that.
That's a good idea. You're talking about like an Ari, Ray, Rakia, Azare, and De'Erica and play real big.
And say, hey, we know that we're going to be able to get some buckets because that's what we do, but we want to be great defensively, and this is our defensive five that's going to give you hell most of this game. I would like to see it, but they got the win tonight. So
let's not change it. If it ain't broke,
we ain't going to mess with it too much. But you mentioned something to Coach about assisting and getting easy shots. The team only had 13 turnovers, where I always say if they can keep it under 16, that they can, be in a good position to win. What did you see tonight with the team sharing the basketball?
The assists, we won the assist game against Dallas, and it's good. It always, for me, when the assists are high and when we win that battle, we're doing a great job of executing the plays and not settling on garbage shots. You know what I mean? You're passing it to the next best player. Even there was a play where Rakia was like 5 feet from the basket, but she just pitched it to De'Erica real quick because that was the better shot, uncontested. So you're doing those unselfish basketball things that just allow us to score more points and get the easy bucket. So I was really, really pleased with how much everybody, and you saw 4 players in our starting 5 had double digits. That's the kind of offense that we need to continue to push the games every single time to close.
To try to win these games, which is great. And what's always going to help is the game before they were like 2 for 15 from 3, 6 from 14. People knocking down shots, meaning being ready. Like, hey, I'm going to be open because De'Erica is playing so great inside. Rakia is showing something. Aries getting to these spots, being ready to shoot, catching them and knocking them down. Azare, shout out to her. 4 for 4 from 3 today was huge. So, hey, it's that time, our favorite time of the show, your favorite time of the show. Player of the game. DJ, we start with you.
Even though the points wasn't there, first of all, I'm going to give a shout out to De'Erica because you're always doing the right things. De'Erica should be the player of the game on paper, but I'm going to give it to Azare Stevens based off of impact. Because her spreading the floor, being 4 for 4 on them threes. She had a block. She was on the ground, grappling with old girl for the ball. Like, Azare played a really great game, and I think affected the tempo of the game. So I'm giving it to Azare Z. Stevens tonight.
I like that because I'm sorry. I got to cheat a little bit. I can't pick one player. It's the big 3. So shout out to the big 3. I'm giving you all player of the game. That's Azare Stevens, Rakia Jackson with her career high, and De'Erica going crazy, 27 points. Each of them did their part. They knocked down shots. They rebounded. They defended. The team needed all of it to win. This game today was one of their better performances for the entire team. Especially when you add in what Ari was able to do. If they can keep this up, they're going to have a real great chance to win on Tuesday because it's camp day. It's going to be turned up. The kiddies are going to be screaming and going loud, but Nneka Ogwumike, the Sparks legend, is going to be back in the building. Before we go, anything you got to say about this matchup we're going to see Tuesday?
This is a tough matchup. This is a guard-heavy matchup. We got the gold Mamba Jewel Lloyd. We got Skylar Diggins. We got Nneka Ogwumike down there in the post. This is a tough matchup. Seattle plays extremely fast. We're going to have to keep up this tempo and literally get on the plane and pick up exactly where you left off in Dallas and bring that heat to the Crypto.com arena.
Hopefully they're ready to go. They can give everything they got. It's the last and final game before the Olympic break. What a big way to finish, going into this break with a 2-game winning streak. And then you get to knock off one of the legends coming in as a visitor now. It's going to be fun. If you have a chance, if you're off of work, you need to be there for this camp day game because it's going to be electric and it's going to be a great game. Michael Matthew, DJ Treese here with LA Sparks Weekly. The Sparks win 87-81 over the Dallas Wings. Hey, let's keep it up, Sparks.